Today, we have Dr. Kanit Sangsubhan, the Secretary General of EEC Thailand and also ITD's Board of Directors, to deliver the keynote speech on linking EEC for trade and investment with Thailand's 4.0. And then we will delve into topics including One Belt, One Road initiative, outlooks on future trade and investment in the region's south, followed by enriching global value chains through the circular economy. And after lunch, we'll have a panel on obstacles and opportunities for Asia's sustainable growth. And then we will end the forum with a look at future education for future trade and investment. So again, there are many seats available in the front. You are welcome to join us way up in the front here so you can get up close and personal with the panelists for today. So for today, we would like to start with the topic, linking EEC for trade and investment with Thailand's 4.0. And for this keynote speech, we are honored to have with us the Secretary General of EEC Thailand and ITD's Board of Directors, Dr. Kanit Sangsubhan. Could everyone please give a warm welcome to Dr. Kanit?
Thank you very much to be here today. Actually, good morning, Ajahn Sutipan, Ambassador Grisada, Dr. Kamarin, and distinguished guests. First of all, I would like to congratulate the International Institute for Trade and Development, or ITD, Thailand. So you come in today, you can remember the ITD names. It's going to be the new organization that work at the regional level. Thank you for organizing this 2 days Trade and Development Regional Forum 2017, or what we call now is ITDRF2017. As a board member of the ITD, I learned that the team has worked very hard to organize this one, and the effort has been successfully launched this conference. However, I believe that it's turned out to be one of the timely conference organized this year. Since the beginning of this conference, many crucial informations and wise conclusions has been emerged. The key issues has been learned and discussed and absorbed. I read from the news yesterday, so I would say that there are a lot of controversial issues and promotion issues, and many things come up from this conference as only one day. It's opened the eyes of many people regarding the trade and development. So with the ITDRF here, I believe that ITD organization is doing a good job as a regional organization, as it was aims to establish. I would like to give the name of ITD for your people to help them, to support them, to do the work for the regional as we need it today. Distinguished guests, the key message of the global economic situation from this conference has many things come up, ranging from the keynotes of Dr. Subhashai's yesterday. It seems to show that one conclusions, the U.S. move of protectionism has been sent a shockwave to the Western hemispheres, to Asia, and to the world. If it's continued and the spread to other Western nations, certainly the impact would be huge and cause a great disruptions to the free trade and free investment system that we all know since the World War II. In the meantime, the EU would have a hard time in adjusting their economic directions and regimes concerning the Brexit and the U.S. new mode of protectionism. The instabilities political climate in Europe produced the wave of fears and relief moods throughout last year, and I believe that it's going to hang out around for the years to come. Dr. Surin Pitsuwan coin some terms, say blowback of globalizations or reverse form of globalization. So that's the mood we sensed yesterday. In such situations, Dr. Subhachai is asking for the full cooperations of the Big Four, names the WTO, IMF, the World Bank, and the UNCTAD, to promote the broader support and cooperations among developing nations themselves, including promoting investment, agriculture, development in energies, and more, to make them away from depending on the traditional trade liberalization and promotion on trade and investment only. Hopefully, this inclusive approach will make such cooperations and prevail the global growth and support the developing country towards a new light. His comment has been learned, but to many of us in the trade area, it is not the best solution. It is the second or the third best solution we are talking about. So that because of the world is lag behind of doing the globalization, so we have to invent some kind of instrument that can leave us survive in the short term. Asia, on the other hand, did not much affected by the late financial crisis. Asian economy, as you see, the data was set back for about 2 years in 2009 and 10, and bounced back to their potential growth level. Among other things, Asian economy has increasingly depending on its own economy and intra-ASEAN economy, which that reinforce of the regional production network, trade and investment. So that's the phenomena we observed for the last 10 years after the crisis. In the later years, Asia is rising and beginning to process of what's so-called recapitalization, led by China and Japan. The ASEAN MNCs began a cross-border investing inside Asia and cross-border to the West and to the rest of the world by buying financial assets, company, technologies, and deposit of resources anywhere around in the world. I believe that Asian recapitalization is not only the new trend, but it will be the trend for the futures. So not only the firm from Japan and from China, so we experience the MNC firm in Thailand has gone out and buy the asset outside. Some of them has been heavily invested in China, some of them heavily invested in India and other places. More important, along with this new trend, they lead a real process of accumulating technologies and, in many cases, produce their own technologies, competing with other developed nations. So many cases, when we're talking about the new technology, the EV, the Internet of Things, so you see a lot of name of the Asian corporate come up as a leading firm today, not like the old day that we just have to see the firm from the Western area. So that's a different now. No other times that we learn about that the emergence of the new brand of the aircraft product from China and Japan. I am a chairman of the Thai Smile Airways and the member of the board of the Thai Airways. We have been approached by Mitsubishi Corporations for its new brand, new versions of the small aircraft. Sooner than later, I believe that we would consider to buy the COMAX C919. The strange new name, that is the aircraft made by China. They launched for commercial today, this year. We are looking forward. We see the brochure, we see everything. So that to reinforce the technology movement in Asia, that's tremendously promoted the progress what we have been learned before. Could this technology advancement and cooperation spread and spill over to trust the new production system in Asia? The new capitalization process of Asia would be exponentially expanded, I believe. On trade, the trade transaction, Now, Asia is free from the threat of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP. When there has a PPP, we all at the ITD believe that it would divide Asian trade investment flow into the two camps, the TPP member and the non-TPP. So that would make Asia in a different pictures today if the progress of TPP has been made according to their plan. Now it's over. In such environment, Dr. Surin Pissawan concludes that Asia has been benefits from the trade liberalization and globalization in the past, which had helped them to reduce poverty and risings of the new middle income class in Asia. Therefore, Asia will continue to enhance trade and economic cooperation, no matter what the environment of the global would be like. We actually would propose to that direction furthermore. To me, it's quite timely today that when we observe the U.S. pushing for trade protectionism policies, while at the same time we see China and Asia are saying to protecting the free trade and free globalization. So it was a world different from what I experienced for the last 30 years. That's quite strange today. In the policy circle, I believe that the voice calling for the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RECPT, or RCEP, our ASEAN-driven initiative to build regional trade bloc between ASEAN and the 6 nations we call ASEAN plus 6 in the old day, which it has exists for the free trade arrangement. With the voice to encourage the ASEAN plus 6 economic collaboration, they also call for another kind of less comprehensive but more practical bilateral or sub-regional economic cooperations between the 2 or more countries. I would say that the new trade liberalization package, or the new form of economic cooperations, including the border trade facilitation, would be welcomed by Thailand and Asia. In case of Thailand, it is highly possible that the schemes would be started among CLMVT. So we have the forum before me about the connectivity of CLMVT. So that will come with the trade liberalization, which might represent the new chapter of Thailand trade policy. So it's one of the issues that ITD would proceed more in the future. How can we, CLMV, can combine trade and investment together in the big way? In terms of financial flow, the volatilities of the US dollar, which recently moved up and down, according with the United States internal policies, this trend would continue, I believe. Many people has talked about that. We're talking about impeachment or non-impeachment or those and this. Every time they have some speed work out, or every time they have the tweet come up. So the stock market and exchange has been move up and down. You don't know where the direction would be like. Anyway, if it's continued onto volatilities to the Fed that has been working on the QE tapering policies, this morning there has been the news that no matter what the QE policy will be like, the Japan and EU will proceed with the speed of the QE as before. So that will be a disparity among the two, meaning that the volatility might be increased in the futures. Many distinguished here today and yesterday, they're talking about the cooperations in terms of finance as well. Some of us has been working on the Asian bond market initiative before. By that, it will confirm that the high volatility in the US dollar would make Asian asset like Asia bond more attractive. The Asia bond, meaning that the bond that has a face value in local currency, like in baht, like in yuan. So we have a hard times in the past try to convince. 10 years ago, we have a hard time to convince that the bond that has a face value of our local currency is credible enough for any investor to buy. But past 10 years, everybody seems that it's a regularly common kind of investment. I believe this kind of instrument, this kind of local currency marked asset will be more successful in the future. At this point, I would share some view with other excellent distinguished speakers before me. First, I believe that the current global economic and global geopolitics situation, if it's continued like this, it would lead to the new cooperations among Asian countries. You need one. If you don't do it, nobody is going to do for you. And second, the voice this time would come across the wide range of economic cooperation sectors, including regional productions network, by enhancing trade and investment cooperation, regional financial corporations, while cross-border debt and equity investment, and regional technology network, while the technologies FDI, human resources exchange, and also I would add the digital dimensions of e-commerce and digital economy combined. By having this kind of voice, so we have to reconsider and come back to see what do we need, and if we have such a big economy, how can we combine the force together? Distinguished guests, please, in general, when we're talking about the regional cooperation, there are two layers. The first is a covering of many countries at the same geographical proximity, as I mentioned about the RCEP. The second level is sub-regional, such as the GMS, the Greater Mekong sub-regions, which comprise of two provinces in China and CLMVT. They are coexisting and they are reinforcing each other in theoretical and in practical. That is, the trade liberalization at the country level will perform better at the border of sub-regional level. So Ajahn Suthipan is one of the champions of this regional cooperation, sub-regional cooperations as well. So, however, with the trade and investment corporations, they generally, in every country, is promoting the special economic zones, or SEC, to be the core of area of center in promoting and realizing benefit from such corporations. For example, in Japan in 1960, when they start to build the country in a new way, they create the SEC and the 10 deep sea ports around the countries as a center of promoting trade, investment, and other technology come into the country and come out to the country as well. China created many SEC of different characteristics along the coastal lines to reap the benefits of joining the WTO. Actually, now China has more than 50% of the GDP come from the special economic zone. So that no matter what you do on the trade in a big way, you need something as a focus to work around inside the country. Malaysia now, if you don't know, they have 5 SEC covering most of the area of the countries. I'll come back to the focus that the organizer need me to say. In case of Thailand, we create the Eastern Economic Corridor, or EEC, to be the first special economic zone, preparing for cooperations of the regional production network, trade and investment network, including technology network, and maybe we're talking about the human development network too. This is in line with what I have been said in the change of the contour of the Asian cooperation. So the Thai government said we need some kind of regional cooperations and we need some kind of special economic zone to work together. Now, since Thailand EEC has become a key policy driver for the government late last year, the EEC is rather new concept to the Thai people as well. So, in order to make it clear, if I say something about EEC and explain the whole thing, it would take a days, I believe. So I would like to ask distinguished guests to see the clip of video introducing EEC for about 10 minutes, and then we discuss further what the EEC would be add to the dimension of trade and investment to Asia. Thank you very much. Please.
Today, Asia is indisputably the global leader driving investments and economic growth with China, the Republic of Korea, Japan, India, and ASEAN powering this momentum. Asia is not only home to a combined population of over 3.5 billion people, but more importantly, the combined GDP of Asia now accounts for 32% of the global GDP. Thailand's centrality naturally forms the hub connecting Asian economies from north to south, starting from China down to Indonesia and from east to west, linking Vietnam to Myanmar. Thailand is also strategically located at the heart of the ASEAN Economic Community, or AEC, already a center for regional production, trade, exports and transportation. Furthermore, Thailand is surrounded by the world's fastest growing economies, CLMV, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar and Vietnam. Thailand is undoubtedly the best investment destination in ASEAN. The Eastern Economic Corridor will be pivotal for Thailand as we progress towards Thailand 4.0. The EEC's goal is to be the most complete and modern special economic zone, the EEC metropolis of the future, gateway to Asia. For over 30 years, Thailand's eastern coastal area, or the eastern seaboard, has been the centerpiece of the Thai economy, linking trade and investment with the rest of the world. The eastern seaboard has been one of the region's major industrial areas, with petrochemical investments that rank in the top 5 in Asia. And it is also a major global production base for motor vehicles and electronics, with integrated deep-sea ports and modern facilities. Moreover, the area is rich with energy sources and raw materials for manufacturing and an important source of professionals and high-skilled labor in ASEAN. The EEC is the most suitable location for investment with the greatest potential to lead the Asian economy. The Royal Thai government is therefore determined to build upon our success with the Eastern Seaboard and elevate it to become the Eastern Economic Corridor. The EEC covers an area of approximately 13,000 square kilometers, ready to be centers of industries of the future and an ideal place for regional headquarters for the world's top companies, raising Thailand's profile to be the center of the Asian economy in the coming decades. The most complete development plan is underway for a fully integrated transportation and logistics network. Air transport development plans include modernization of Utapao Airport with an expansion of existing runways and new passenger and cargo terminals. With full support and incentives, Utapao International Airport is also set to become an advanced aviation MRO center, including home to aviation-related industries. In combination with existing Dongmuan and Suvarnabhumi airports, Utapao International Airport will complete the synergistic network, allowing Thailand to become the aviation hub of Asia. Land transport development projects include high-speed and dual-track railways and motorway expansion, which by 2020 will provide interconnectivity between industrial sites across the country to our 3 deep-sea ports and 3 international airports. Sea transport development plans include the following. From Lam Chabang Port, which is now Thailand's main cargo port for containers and motor vehicles, there is a plan for expanding its capacity to accommodate freight containers up to 18 million TEU and 3 million cars annually. Upon completion, Lam Chabang Port will rank among the world's top 15 cargo ports and will serve as the gateway to Indochina. Map Thaput Industrial Port. Phase 3 is designated for transports of liquid freight and natural gas, which are important raw materials for energy production and advanced petrochemical industry. Sattahip Commercial Port, our 3rd deep sea port, will be upgraded and modernized to become an international cruise and ferry port, meeting global standards and ready to accommodate the region's growing shipbuilding industry and offshore oil rig assembly industry. Furthermore, establishing new ferry ports will connect major tourist destinations, linking both sides of the Gulf of Thailand for the first time, making the EEC the most complete transportation and logistics hub in the region. EEC is our pivot which will propel Thailand to become the hub of advanced industries and highly integrated commercial network. 10 main industries are being promoted as the key driving forces of sustainable economic growth. This entails upgrading 5 existing industries with immense potentials through the injection of technology into next-generation automotive, smart electronics, advanced agriculture and biotechnology, food processing and tourism. 5 new industries will also be promoted, such as robotics and mechatronics for both industrial and daily life, integrated aviation industry, comprising aviation repair center, spare parts, as well as an aviation training center, is to be located in the area of Utapao International Airport, medical hub and integrated wellness center, bioeconomy, particularly biochemicals and biofuel, expansion of all future industries, as well as Maptaput's petroleum industry will incorporate green technologies in accordance with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. Thailand will be establishing free trade zones around the seaports and airports, and global business hub which are eligible for most generous tax and financial incentives available to attract international headquarters, international trading companies, treasury centers and regional research and development centers for leading multinationals. Complementing the hard infrastructure development, soft infrastructure related to both the tourism and health wellness industries will be upgraded. This will improve the quality of life for investors, professionals, foreign staff and locals alike. The development of Chekcheongsao, Pattaya, Rayong and a brand new metropolis will be based on modern urban planning in accordance with the international standards, with the goal of enhancing quality living while blending in perfectly with the local culture and the environment with access to excellent public utilities. The EEC will truly fulfill all expectations of the perfect work-life balance. The development of the EEC will be entered in the constitutionally mandated 20-year national strategy and governed by the Eastern Economic Corridor Act, which will be the first of its kind in Thailand's history, where the entire focus is on region-specific development. This will ensure the continuity of both public and private investment, totaling more than $45 billion. This act and ongoing legislation introduced by the Board of Investment will offer the most generous incentive packages in ASEAN, along with the planned regulation relaxations, a one-stop service centre and ongoing reforms, lifting the ease of conducting business to unprecedented levels. Moreover, investment projects deemed strategically important will receive additional support from our special fund, designated to increase Thailand's competitiveness in targeted industries. The EEC, the most strategic area for investment for the future. The EEC, the new metropolis of the future, gateway to Asia. The EEC, the new economic hub for Asia, offering the perfect future for every investor worldwide.
Okay, thank you very much for your patience. So that's the EEC framework. What we're gonna do next? The time frame would be around 5 years to see some of the light here. But anyway, I have the obligations to make something happen this year as well. As you see, as you see, we tackle at the core the weakness of Asian or ASEAN or CLV, which is the infrastructure investment. As many people yesterday talking about, we're lacking behind a lot of investing in infrastructures. Our port facilities, our airport has been crowded, has been under-invested for some time. So EEC tried to bring that one back to what we have before. In general, we have the EEC as the second phase of the Eastern Seaboard that happened 33 years ago. Eastern Seaboard has been lost sometimes in the last 20 years. So we created them up. But not the part of the infrastructure that we're talking about. The key essence of EEC is try to connect trade investment, and at the core center is the technologies. To the countries, not to the Thailand alone, but to the regions as a part of it. Actually, we're talking about the project that the Thai Airways is working with the Airbus to do the MRO, maintenance and overhaul, maintenance, operation and overhaul of the new aircraft system, for example. The project will be launched by the end of this year or early of next year. We're dealing with the Alibaba, the issues that raised up yesterday about how to control the Alibaba. But anyway, that kind of thing is representing the new light of technologies that Asia should learn about it, and we try to work around with it. In any cases, we have the four group of the project. One, the infrastructures. The second one is the trade and investment we're talking about. We try to jive with the Japan and China to do the work on the EV, electronic vehicle, in terms of the robotic and other thing else, in order to get the technologies come down to the country. So that's what we aim for. And technologies mean human resources. So in case of ITD, this is the area that we would encourage them to do more in the future, to work in on the people level. We're talking about the inclusive growth. It doesn't mean that you have growth without inclusive. We can have it. We can have people involved in the process every time they like, and it depends on the policy designs and depend on the institution like ITD to help support the work of art in this area. The first one that we're talking about, the infrastructure. The second one is the industry we mentioned about, and the third one is the tourist industry, and the fourth one we talking about. We will do the project on the city development in this area. Meaning that when you have the high technology, the technology means people. People ask for the good environment, good everything. So that will be the example. We call this one as the experimental example for Thailand development in the future. The total investment would be around 1.5 trillion baht, or around $43 billion US. For the past 4 months, the government has approved the infrastructure project around 700 billion baht, or around roughly 15 billion US dollars on that process already. The rest is on the infrastructures, maintenance, improving more, and the industrial investment. We have to do some of the tangible priority project here. First of all, we have to have the airport, Utapao Kapanap. Utapao is the old airport 33 years ago as well. And we have to work more to bring them up. And the second one is we're going to build a high-speed train to link the three airports, Don Mueang, Suvarnabhumi, and the Utapao. So you guys come in Suvarnabhumi, I guess, is very crowded. So we try to have the Utapao in the Eastern Economic Corridor to help them. And the third one is Free Seaport. This three already approved by the government. We are going to do the industry part more in the next 3 months, and on the city development. At the same time, the Ministry of Science and Technologies will create the hub for the innovation we call EECI, or EEC Innovation Park, at Rayong. Around 3,000 right. They has a square, they has a place, they has a plan already, and the digital ministry will create the ECD. So It is the digital park, digital and industrial park around Sriracha. So that the part to quickening the process of technology transfer to Thailand. I hope that this will be the light of cooperations among Thai, China, Japan, and other countries to do enhancement of the, as we said, trade, investment, and among other things, the technology transfer. So that I believe that is the policy we are driving forward to. In general, come back to the last point about the Thailand 4.0. We said that the government said that the Thai people should upgrading their standard of living, that the way of earning money through technologies, meaning that we recognize that the technology has come and we have to comply with it one way or the other. The Thailand 4.0 has raised some of the issues in the countries, like now every Thai people has to re-evaluate themselves what the level they are on. They say something, I am Thailand 1.0 or 0.5, I am Thailand 2.0, those kind, this kind. It's enlightened the way of people talking about the technology, and that's the essence of the thing. You know? I hope that by doing this, we alert the people there. We have the industrial policy. We put everything into the certain area called EEC, and then we call for cooperation among other countries. So that the essence of the trade regimes in Thailand and EEC policy in Thailand, including the way we're going to look forward to see the will. We believe that the investment is not. It's the essence somehow, but it's not the key essence of the whole story. We're talking about the technology transfer. We're talking about how to rise up with the new technology, with the new production line, and with the new knowledge to the people. So today we have been discussing many things. I believe that the global scenario will be in a shaky situation. No matter what we say is a drawback of the globalization or whatsoever, it's going to come up in the big way in the future. So we call for the Asian cooperation in many ways. And I believe that the Thai government has been prepared many things around, including prepare EEC, Eastern Economic Corridor, to be the center of the cooperation in the future. Thank you very much.